from yesterday, which he brings in to make up the numbers. A frustrated comedian, Les compares at the Tartan Club. It's an obvious tears of a clown job. His wife left him years ago, and his daughter, who he never sees, lives in England. Life has its disappointments, but Les grabs his crapulent fun where he can. He's also a man tortured by piles to the extent that he creams his arse before he goes out drinking. We each spread our papers onto the floor in front of the toilet pans. You can hear the rustling from the other traps. Then, I lower my kecks in my boxers, squatting over the papers. Stay relaxed. The key is to make sure that the shite comes out in a whirr with no breaks. That means you have to get close enough to the floor and be deft enough to move forward so that it doesn't coil but straightens out in a line on the paper. Smooth action. I'm doing nicely here. You can feel it coming out at an even pace in a solid flow, and I feel it touch the floor. And I start to slide forward in a slow, steady movement while maintaining the excretion. The fucking back giving me jip. Keep going. Yeah, beauty. Splat! I hears it falling onto the paper like a darted ape out a tree. Then I arch myself back on the pan, grateful to take the pressure off the lower back and shite out the dregs before wiping my arse. This is the trickiest part of the operation. Disposing of the afterbirth, as Les calls it. As you generally eat before you drink, the afterbirth is usually more sloppy and drinking drugs toxic than the actual birth itself, but it's mission accomplished, and I clean myself off and admire my work. The log sits steaming on the floor in front of me, a thing of beauty, solid, brown, unbroken, with that lovely smooth coat and it slid out with no cling on at all. This baby has to be a contender. Real Scots shite over the record. I exit and wash my hands, swallowing another 2 paracetamol. Sean Harrigan, a Glaswegian exile dumped in Livy, is already out, a sure sign that he's done the business. Barry McKechnie is next, followed by Mitch. Then Seb, I can't see his one being unbroken. Finally, Ross Wood shows with an unhappy shake of the head. So we slide the fruits of our labour out onto the floor in a neat row while Les goes to work with the measuring tape. He commentates as he judges the shites. Barry McKechnie, a poor effort, son. What sort of weekend did you have? At home in front of the telly? Win some, lose some, eh? Barry says with a shrug. He's a new boy. Didn't work here back when I was full-time, but he seems sound enough. Seb, no bad, mate. That's a bit coiled, but Les observed. Poor Seb is destined to be the perennial bridesmaid. A bit too fat to get the right balance and technique going. It does require a certain athleticism. Davy Mitchell, excellent. I had a curry on Saturday and an all-day session after the Hibs game at Falkirk. Livy Sean slides his paper out. There's a big, ugly, steaming black and tan tortoise on that record. Sean Harrigan, a beauty, Les declares. As tar-brushed as the Princess Royal's first bastard, the one you never hear about. I was on the Guinness at Bears in the Gallagher. Be mastered by no orange bastard, my stoppy chum, Les smiles. Worked a treat for you, Sean. Russ Wood, he looked at Russ's skittery wee effort. Come on, Russ, that's a poor show. It's a way for this diet and veggie nonsense. I fucking shout like a trooper. I had to go earlier, it was a cracker and all. Aye, right, Sean said. Honest, Sean, Russell protests. It's this high-fibre diet. First thing every morning, I drop a log the size of Big Morag in the canteen's thighs. You need to change your fucking diet if you're serious about playing with the big boys, Russ. Les dismisses. Right, Marky. He looked at me, then at my offering, which lay steaming on top of Aberdeen's Gordon Strachan. Excellent result, coming in at 14¼ inches and the undisputed winner. No a weak link in it, nice and compacted, but sliding out in a nice straight line. That boyfriend of yours been packing the fudge nice and tight again, Rents. Sean laughs, but jealousy ebbs from his mean tight eyes. I wink at him. I'm out with a postman rather than a letterbox, Sean. You should ken that more than most, pal. Sean's about to say something back, but Les beats him to the punch. You want a fucking condom before you go near a minging Ouija's hole. You can't, I want a fucking diver suit. Shut young Bobby hisses, his gangly frame bent round the door. Gilsland and Barrowman! We pick up the papers, open the window and fling our bombs out onto the flat roof as Barry heads back out to stall the gaffer. He did not hold them back for too long, because we're just shutting the window and making for the wash hand bases. When you hear that nasal mew, "What's all this then?" Gilsland moans. "There's a job needs doing. What are you hanging around in here like a bunch of queerspa?" We were waiting on you coming in and showing us how to give a proper gam, Ralphie. Les pushes his cheek out with his tongue, making a cocksucking motion. It blew the whole of the fucking Jubilee gang outside the Grant and Chippy one night, eh, Ralph? Swallowed every single time, they tell us. Then he went back home and licked out the missus to prove that it swung both ways. Then retched up all over her muff. 9 months later, she had a bairn that looked like every Curtin Granton. Eh, Ralphie? What are you talking about? Gilsland says indignantly, then retorts, "Takes you into Kenyon." It's summer nights I love the old Granton tune. Oh well, oh well, oh well, oh well, tell me more. Les muses, sliding into song as we ignore Ralphie and Bannerman, who, registering the creeping stench, waves his hand in front of his face, and we head back out onto the tedious job. Sean and Mitch are asking us about my weekend. Blackpool Northern, eh? No bad, but it'll never be another Wigan. Never saw it coming, but it whistled past Sean's head at bullet velocity, embedding a good 2 inches into a plank in the wood pile behind him. My blood run cold for a church-length second. Presumably Sean's did too, before he dived behind a pile of frames stacked up on the pallets. I wasn't far behind, and a good thing and all. Another whistle and and another 6-inch nail wedged into the wood in front of us. "You fucking wee bum! Nearly fucking well killed us!" Sean roars over at Bobby, who's blasting off all over the place with the high-powered compressed air gun. "I'm going to blow every motherfucker's brains out!" Bobby grimaces, sending another couple of bullet nails over into the wooden pallets in front of us. "Fucking cool it, you daft wee cunt!" Les shouts at him. The wee fucker is off his head and he's going to kill somebody. He loves that gun. Standing there with the idiot grin across his goopin. But he's stalled now because Les never usually halts a prank. "Bobby," I goes, standing up. "Come on, buddy, get that fucking safety catch back on. If Gilson comes in, we're all fucked. Come on, mate. Screw the fucking nut, eh?" Bobby looks over at us, and I think I just see him discreetly click the catch on. But fear gobbles up my spinal column as he turns a compressed air gun on at me and fires. Of course, now it happens, except I almost defecate again in spite of the empty bowels. Thank you very much for listening to the show.